In early 2025, the political landscape in Washington was already tense. President Donald Trump had returned to the White House promising economic revival and swift action on trade with foreign rivals. But as the year unfolded, tariffs on major trading partners like Canada, Mexico, and China began to bite American consumers and small businesses, pushing up the cost of everyday essentials. Meanwhile, millions of Americans were approaching a so-called healthcare cliff as Affordable Care Act subsidies were set to expire, threatening steep premium increases and loss of coverage. Into this storm stepped Representative Jasmine Crockett, a Democrat from Texas known for her sharp critique of GOP policies and blunt language. As everyday families felt the crunch, Crockett's voice grew louder and more urgent. Crockett's first confrontation with the president's agenda came over tariffs. Once pitched as a tool to pressure foreign powers into fairer deals, these levies quickly looked like a hidden tax on Americans. Crockett argued that they were inflating prices for consumers and fueling bankruptcies among small businesses. She didn't just criticize from the sidelines, she publicly challenged Republicans, saying many quietly agreed the tariff strategy was crazy but were too afraid to oppose it openly. Like a rising drumbeat, her warnings rang out. The economy wasn't strengthening, it was unraveling under policies that promised prosperity but delivered pain. Just as the tariff debate simmered, a new crisis loomed: healthcare. With the ACA subsidies expiring, seniors and working families faced skyrocketing insurance costs. To Crockett, this wasn't an abstract policy issue, it was real fear in real communities. On national television, she accused the president and his GOP allies of caring more about political spin than affordable care, saying they had no real plan to keep premiums low or protect coverage. Her words struck a chord and set the stage for her most explosive claim yet. As the conflicts intensified, Crockett didn't just argue policy, she questioned credibility. In interviews and speeches, she called out the president for making promises that didn't match reality, touting economic success while prices climbed, bragging about healthcare solutions that weren't there, and denying harm when families felt it most. Her rhetoric grew sharper, tapping into a deep sense of betrayal felt by many Americans. To Crockett, these weren't mere political disagreements, they were broken promises that harmed everyday people. At times, her blunt phrasing sparked controversy in itself, but it also highlighted the rising frustration with what she saw as repeated falsehoods. By the end of 2025, the stakes were higher than ever. Small business owners were watching costs surge. Families worried about losing health coverage. And in town halls across the country, voters demanded answers from their leaders, not talking points. Crockett's challenge wasn't just to her own party, it was to the nation's political accountability. In her speeches and interviews, she asked Americans to look beyond slogans and ask a simple question: who is responsible for the hardships we are living through? Whether supporters cheered or opponents scoffed, one thing was clear: the debate over tariffs, healthcare, and truth in leadership had become a defining drama of the moment, with voters as the ultimate judge.